Hello, everyone. I hope I'm live now. So, a very good evening to all. I think many people have already joined us. So, can you guys give me the confirmation, those who are with me in the live, that whether I am properly visible, clearly audible, or not? And then we will wait for a few seconds so that everyone will join, and then maybe we will start our today's live class. It's a very interesting session because we will talk about generative AI. I think you already have seen from the thumbnail and the headline itself what is the today's objective all about. But before we'll start, can you guys give me the confirmation in the chat window that whether I'm properly visible, clearly audible or not? I need the confirmation from everyone. Uh, can I get in the chat window, everyone, those who are joining me live? Perfect. Now I start getting the response as well. Very good. Superb. Yup, ma'am, you are audible. Thank you so much for the confirmation, Mayank. Yes, just tell to each and everyone. Just connect with your friends and ping them that we are here in the live session, right? And I'll just start within few seconds. I have with me one of the guests as well today, so I'll take him live also within few seconds. So, but before that, I just want everyone to be there in the live, right? I don't want anyone to miss today's live session. It would be so much interesting, and there are lot many questions I know you have in your head as well. That she announced about the playlist of generative AI, but what we will cover up, what are the prerequisites that we should know so that we can wrap up every episode which will come up in near future. So all of those questions will be answered today. So just try to be patient enough and try to be there in this live session till the very end because we will answer all the questions. So now, without wasting any time, let me bring up the guest for today's session, Bapi. Hi, Bapi. How are you?
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, hi, guys. I think I'm audible to all of you. My
You
name is
are.
Boktiar Ahmed Bappi. I think some of you already know me, but if you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Boktiar Ahmed Bappi, and I'm having more than 4 years of working experience in the field of machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, generative AI, ML ops. Even I have already worked with so many company as a mentor, as a data scientist. I have already worked with PW Skills, iNeuron, and currently I'm working with one of the amazing company called Euron. Apart from that, actually, I also create content on my YouTube channel. Uh, I think you saw my YouTube channel called DS with Bappi. So there you will see I've created different kinds of content related computer vision, NLP, end-to-end project implementation. Okay, so these are the thing. Yeah.
Superb, superb. I think he has mentioned so many stuffs, right, guys, with his expertise. So that is why that's the main reason that why I bring up him here as well. In the past, right, we worked together as a team, and when I was working with Ideron, right, so I know his technical expertise, and his way of teaching is also superb. I really like the way he used to teach the concepts in a very simpler manner. All the complex concepts, the way he teach, I think that's really awesome, right? So, Bapi, we have planned for the generative AI playlist, and you are the one who is leading this complete playlist. So, can you talk about what we are bringing up for the audience and what things we are covering up in this playlist? What are the prerequisites that anyone should have so that they can move ahead with your episodes, which we are planning to launch in the future?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Actually, see, the playlist actually I have prepared in a such a way. Let's say you are coming from any kinds of background. Let's say you are from non-tech background, you are from tech background. It doesn't matter. At least you should have the programming knowledge. Okay, if you have the programming knowledge, definitely you will be able to complete the entire playlist. Okay, whatever, let's say, video I have covered, whatever topic I have covered, each and everything would be cleared. And I try to make the topics as simple as possible I can, because I know that generative AI is a little bit confusing field for others as well. Let's say if you don't know about, let's say, in depth about NLP, let's say, large language model. Then if I'm talking about like transformer architecture, attention, okay, encoder and decoder, no need to worry, I have clarified each and everything you need to know about this as well. Okay, so here what I done, see, I have started from very basics of the generative AI. Like if you see the first module, I covered the introduction part of the generative AI, like what exactly generative AI, why it is different from our other let's say older technology, like whatever let's say technology we used to use, our traditional NLP, right? So why we have to use the generative AI, so each and everything I have already covered in this section. Then I started with something called data preprocessing and embedding technique, because going forward, whenever you will be working with the large language model, definitely you have to give your data, whether you are working with textual data, image data, okay, any kinds of data, you have to give the data to the large language model. And we know that we can't directly pass these are the data to our large language model, because large language model can take the raw input. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to pre-process the data. Let's say if some issue is there with the data, let's say HTML tags are there, emojis are there, right, punctuations are there. So if these are the information is not required, then what you have to do, you have to clean up, right? So to clean up, what are the process you can follow, what are the technique you can follow, I've clarified each and everything. Apart from that, I already covered the embedding technique as well, like how we can perform the embedding. So I started with the very basics embedding technique, like one out encoding. Then I covered till the advanced one, like the transformer based embedding technique as well. Because nowadays, whatever model you can see, okay, over the Hugging Face, over the OpenAI, all the let's say platform are using transformer based architecture embedding model, okay, because these are the pretty good model, you will see good embedding so that your model can understand the context, right? Then after that, I started with large language model. Definitely if you want to start with the generative AI, so everything is all about large language model. So here I clarified like the large language model architecture, how chat GPT was trained and all. So these are the basic topic I have covered here. Then I started with the Hugging Face platform. Okay, why Hugging Face platform? Because nowadays all kinds of large language model, whether it's a commercial model, whether it's a, let's say, open source model, all model are available on the Hugging Face platform. Okay, so how we can use the Hugging Face platform, how we can let's say create different kinds of let's say project with the help of large language model, each and everything I have clarified in the Hugging Face platform. Even I also showed you how we can take different kinds of data set, how we can fine tune let's say any kinds of large language model, any kinds of LM model, that means language model, each and everything I clarified in that section. Then I started with the OpenAI platform, because we know that OpenAI is trending a lot. So OpenAI is bringing lots of model related, let's say, vision model, language model, even multi-model, right? So recently they have already published so many model. So that's why I covered the OpenAI API as well, because sometimes you will be using OpenAI API as well, okay, to create your generative AI based application. Then the super important concept I have covered, prompt engineering. Okay, like what is prompt engineering exactly, and how we can design an efficient prompt from our large language model. Okay. Apart from that, I have covered the vector database, because vector database is a super important topic inside generative AI, because all the let's say vector, okay, let's say whatever data you are using, you have to convert them as a vector representation, and those vector you have to store in the database. So here we can't use our traditional database. Okay, if I'm using the traditional database, so what would be the issue? Each and everything I have covered in the vector database session. So here I've covered different kinds of vector database like ChromaDB, FIS. Then I have also covered like Pinecone, Weaviate. Okay, so these are the vector database I covered. So these are the most used vector database in the market. Okay, if you see nowadays. Then I started with the open source large language model, because many people will have the question, sir, I don't have the OpenAI account. Okay, I don't want to spend the money. Then how I can use like different kinds of large language model? For this, I covered this part, how we can use different kinds of open source large language model. Okay, from the Hugging Face. Okay, from different kinds of platform, I already clarified here. Then we started with one amazing, actually, let's say, technique inside generative AI called retrieval augmented generation, called RAG. Because inside generative AI, you will see we are having two kinds of application. One is like RAG based application, one is like fine tune based application. Okay, so most of the time you will be creating the RAG based solution. Let's say you are having some custom data, and you want to use this custom data with your large language model as a context. So how we can connect our data, okay, to our large language model? For this, what are the technology we can use? So everything I have covered in the RAG section as well. Okay, apart from that, I have also showed you how we can perform the fine tuning of a LLM model. Let's say you are having one LLM model, you are having very specific task, okay, with a very specific private data. So for this, how we can train one, fine tune one large language model. Okay, so this part I have already covered. Then inside fine tuning, you will see I have already covered the parameter efficient fine tuning process, like how we can use the LoRa, QLoRa. So these are the technique as well. Then I covered something called LangChain, because going forward, whenever you will be working with the generative AI, So you have to use one framework. It's not one framework. There are a couple of framework you can use. So I've covered the LangChain as well as the Llama Index. Both framework I have covered. So this will give you the all kinds of functionality to connect with your large language model to create different kinds of GenAI based application. Okay, so everything functionality you will get in this section. Apart from that, I started with something called end-to-end project implementation. So here I think showed 4 to 5 end-to-end implementation project. So here you will get each and every idea like how we can let's say start with the data and how we can create a web application. Even at the end of the implementation, I also showed you how we can perform the deployment operation as a CI/CD. Okay, with a different cloud platform. Then at the last, you will see that I have also covered the LLM ops, because nowadays LLM ops is like most trending topic in the generative AI, right? So in LLM ops, like we have covered different kinds of like platform, like cloud platform. Like I have covered the Vertex AI, GCP Vertex there. Then I have covered the AWS Bedrock. Okay, with the help of that, I also implemented so many projects. Okay, so this is the complete plan. So if you see the like content, the entire content, I have tried to cover each and everything you need to know to master about the generative AI. And I think this will help you a lot if you're starting with the generative AI as a new, and if you're also, let's say, learning generative AI but you're looking for any well organized content, so I will definitely suggest this content. Okay, you can definitely watch. Yeah.
Perfect. So I think that you guys have seen that how much in depth Bapi has talked about the course curriculum, which we have planned to post in this specific playlist, which I think I have shared in the chat window as well. So you can maybe bookmark it somewhere. Uh, on every alternative day, the new episode will be released in a sequential order. And one thing, when you are watching these episodes, please try to watch it in a sequential manner. It's not that, okay, today I am watching episode number one, tomorrow maybe I'll skip that, on the next day, then I'll watch directly episode number three. All of the videos are interconnected, and if you will not get the flow, then obviously things won't work out the best, which we have already planned for you. One thing, Bapi, we have talked a lot about LLMs, generative AI, large language models, but there might be few people who are not aware about these key terms. What is generative AI? What is large language model? So can you try to give some real time examples so that they will be easily able to understand what we are talking about over here, and the words don't feel jargons to them. And one more question, that can you talk about the prerequisite, like let's say if there is anyone who is just aware about Python programming language, and let's say they have not worked with ML or DL or NLP, so will they be able to follow your playlist, what we are covering up in the playlist part? And will they be able to understand what concepts you are teaching over there? So these are the two questions I want you to take up now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, actually, good question. So, uh, I think I will first of all clarify exactly what is generative AI and what is large language model, because many people will have the confusion. Like we already have the natural language processing field, right? So here we can perform, let's say, different kinds of tasks. Let's say text classification, language translation, text summarization. Even we can also implement chatbot kinds of application. Okay, so I think we have already learned this thing. Okay, let's say those who have learned like previously, I think 1 year or 2 years back, I think they already know. So in NLP, actually, we had different kinds of model. Okay, we call it as LM model. That means language model. And if you see, these are the model. Actually, it is not a generative model. Okay, so this model actually, it's actually, if you see that model, it's a prediction model only. So it will predict the, let's say, next word, or next, let's say, next character. It's a kinds of, actually, I mean, prediction model actually there we are using that time. But inside generative AI, if you see, the model actually we're using, it's a generative model. It can generate a new content based on the data we'll be providing. Let's say, I will give you one example. Let's say, as a human, if I give you 10 different cat books, okay, then if I tell you, just try to read this book and tell me about the cats. So will you be able to give me the answer about the cats? Like what exactly the cats, what is the colors of the cats, okay, how many eyes the cats have? So I think definitely you will be able to give me the answer, because I have given you the data. Okay, now what you have done, you have learned, let's say, the information from the books, and now you know about the, let's say, cats, right? Now what you have become one generative model. That means you can generate the data related to the cats. Okay, so similar kinds of things actually we also perform inside generative AI. So we give some unstructured data to our large language model. My large language model try to find the pattern. Okay, then it will generate something new, okay, based on that. Okay, so this is called actually generative model. And inside generative model, here you will get one interesting thing called multi-model, multitasking model. That means with the help of one model, you can perform different kinds of tasks. Let's say you can perform language translation, you can perform text summarization, you can also perform conversational, let's say, activity. Like if I tell you some real world example, Chat GPT, Google Gemini is there, right? So what you can perform the chat operation. Even you can also generate the code. You can let's say summarize your sentence. You can also perform the sentiment analysis. All kinds of tasks is possible. Okay, so, but here you are using only one particular model. And how you are identifying different tasks, how you're like telling your model I want to perform this task with the help of prompt. That means whenever we design these kinds of like large language model, that means generative model, we use something called prompting. With the help of prompt, actually we try to train these are the model, so that if user is giving any kinds of prompt, let's say I want to perform language translation, I will give, you are a language translation expert, what you have to do, you have to translate this sentence. Okay, whatever sentence actually user will give to this specific language. So that's how actually we give the input to the large language model, and my large language model will try to understand and it will give me the answer. Okay, so that's why you will see that we have a huge difference of the generative AI, okay, with respect to our traditional NLP. Because in traditional NLP, we used to use the predictive model, and these kinds of operation we can't ever perform with that model. Okay, so that's why this model is so powerful. Although these models are very big, but at the end you will see that it will solve most of the task. Okay, whatever task you are having, and you don't need to train specifically model. Okay, specific model for a specific task. Let's say you want to perform language translation, so with the help of one model and only you can perform it. But previously, what we used to do for language translation, we train one model. For text summarization, we used to train another model. Now let's say you want to create an application, it will perform all kinds of tasks. What you have to do, you have to combine all the model, you have to productionize all the model, and definitely cost will also increase, right? But if you're using generative model, so that kinds of actually, let's say, things you don't need to do. Only just train one model, use one model, and perform all kinds of tasks. Okay, so this is the thing I wanted to let you know. And the second question I will give you, let's say you are from non-tech background, if you only know the Python, whether you will be able to start or not. Definitely will be able to start, but I will suggest at least try to gain some idea about the NLP, because see, here I am more focused on the generative AI. And you know that if I want to learn the generative AI, I should have at least some basics knowledge on the NLP, because inside NLP you will get the idea about the model, like what is RNN, what is LSTM, GRU, what is encoder, decoder, attention, right? So these are the concept at least you will get. And whenever you have the understanding on this content, let's say concept, so it would be easy for you to cope up with the large language model, because large language model at the end it is using the core architecture of the transformer, like the same encoder, decoder, okay, the same attention mechanism, some, let's say, input encoding. So these are the technique it is using. Okay, so whenever I will try to show you some architecture in the video, so if you have some basics knowledge about the NLP, it would be easy for you to cope up with the concept. Otherwise, what will happen, I know that some of the people will be confused with the architecture, but still, as a code wise, as the implementation wise, definitely will get the idea. Let's say you want to only learn the development, you don't want to deep dive about the theory, that time it's completely fine, you can learn as implementation. But if you want to deep dive into the topic, definitely I will suggest try to at least have some idea on the NLP part. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Super amazing. So I think everyone got the answer that first thing is what is generative AI and large language model. So at any point of time, if let's say any model we are curating, which is generating the content, it can be anything, right? Images, textual data, videos. Nowadays, we have so many platforms via which you can correlate. For example, Bapi just now have given several examples. I think Chat GPT is something which nowadays everyone is using on a daily basis. So you can correlate with that itself, that how this generative AI is quite booming, and you can check it out today after maybe this session on LinkedIn, on Naukri, how many positions currently are open for generative AI. So this is the must skill set, I would say. Nowadays, in data science domain, maximum companies, maximum startups are working on this specific skill set. Companies are trying to create their own GPTs where they can just have their own data set, because definitely for everyone's data is confidential and they don't want to publicly allocate that to the public platforms that we have. So companies are trying to create their own GPTs. Doctors are having doctor GPT where they can send the patient data, because that is again a confidential information. So all of these things requires the knowledge of what Bapi have talked about, and you will get the end to end idea. It's not that we are just providing the brief overview of these things. starting from the scratch till the very advanced where we are covering up the projects. Everything will be there in one structured curriculum, in one structured playlist. And we definitely have a plan further that if you guys really like the content, and if you really like that, okay, in future maybe we can have a live session with Bapi where we can ask the doubts as well, so we can accordingly plan those live sessions also on the platform. That is a separate idea altogether, which we will see later on. But definitely, as a starting point for everyone, it's a free content. Please utilize this on the platform. Try to learn as much as you can. Please try to share the comments that whatever videos we are pushing, is that something which is understandable or not. And another thing which I hope you have received very clearly, that NLP concepts are something which is a prerequisite. If you are someone who is not at all aware about NLP, transformer, BERT, LST, and all those architectures, definitely you might face a trouble. So don't be like कि मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. It's just that first of all you have to get that prerequisite done, so that you will be in a situation that you will be able to understand what he's trying to communicate. Have a time, and even when these topics will come up, still there are days are pending. So please try to study hard, do your research well, before these videos will start publishing. And at any point of time, these videos are the self-paced course type, so you can at any point of time rewatch these videos again, and try to utilize this as much as you can. One question, Bapi, which I can see on the screen, and let me take it upfront. So what would be the total duration of the course from the start day? um, any
Yeah, so yeah, it would be around 22 hours if you end the complete course around.
So you can see that it's a complete in detail course, 22 hours. I think it's too much. So please try to be consistent, right? People usually when they start anything, the course part, whether it's is it's a paid one or a free one, usually the motivation is quite high that okay, we will do this, we will do that. And when the videos keep on coming up, at the in between, the drop ratio is also quite huge. Everyone knows that. So please try to be consistent. Please try to tag Bapi whenever you are learning something on LinkedIn. Whatever learning you have made, try to document it and tag him that, okay, this is what I have learned from this episode, from his videos. And whatever help you need from our end, definitely we will try to do that from our side, right? Um, okay, so actually joined a late a bit. Is this course going to be a live or recorded? And what will be the timing of the classes? So this will be a recorded course. Uh, it's a playlist. Already the link is shared in the chat window. You can check it out. I think I have pinned that link. And after that, you can also go and explore in the playlist section of my channel. You will be able to see the playlist of Generative AI. So from day after tomorrow, like not day after tomorrow, after 2 days. So episode number one will be released. You will get the notification also, and that will be about the Generative AI. It's a very basic session where you will get the idea that what are the things we are going to cover up, and what is the context all about, right? Is it fine? Any other question? I can see more questions over here, so let me take it step by step. So, what are the videos length in minutes? Any idea? Any average?
Yeah, see, actually, I can't tell you the exact duration because you will see some concept will take more time to cover. You will even see like I have already taken, I mean, created some of the video which is more than 1 hour. Okay, so if I'm explaining something theory with the practical, it will take time. Otherwise, if I'm showing any practical, because see, in the recorded class, actually, it's not possible to write all the code in front of you line by line, right? Because again, it's a wasting of time. So what I have done, most of the code actually I already pre-written in my, let's say, computer. So there I just copy pasted in the video and then I try to clarify it. So if you see these kinds of videos, so it would be around 15 to 20 minutes. So in 15 to 20 minutes, you will see the entire implementation. Okay. So this should be the minimum length of the video. Apart from that, you will also see like 6 minutes, 5 minutes. If I'm explaining something, let's say very, what I can say, a very unused topic, okay, so which is less, let's say, need very less time. That time you will also see 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the video is also there. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And even with every episode, in the community section, I will post a quiz questions also. So whatever learning you have made, so you can attempt those quiz questions to get an idea that, that's a kind of a brief revision of the episode. I think the same thing I have done for my sequel playlist also when I launched that playlist and finished that end to end. With every episode, I think those people who have followed me at that point of time in the sequel playlist, with every episode, I used to post the quiz questions, if you remember. I think similar thing I have done for stats playlist also in my channel. Similar thing I'm planning to do in the generative AI playlist as well. So with every episode, you need to watch it. The timing will be most probably at 8 p.m. IST. The sessions will be released, and one day prior, I will upload it for premiere, as usually I do that, so that everyone will get to know that at what point of time the video will be released. So after that, you can watch it, and on the next day itself, in the morning, approximately, you can say at not in the morning, in the afternoon at 1 p.m. IST, I will try to upload the quiz questions. So automatically, you will be able to see that there will be corresponding to every episode, whatever learning you have made, there will be a quiz questions for that. You need to attempt that. Please try to be quite sincere in this. If you will, definitely after this episodes will get over, you can watch it in one go as well. But I think if you will go with the flow, you will find it engaging also, interesting also. And I'm looking forward with respect to the feedback for the same with everyone, whosoever be, going to be there in the entire playlist altogether. So that is the complete information. Do you guys have any other question? Anyone? If you have, you can just post it over here. Otherwise, we can wrap up the today's live. That is the information which we want to give over here. I hope that you are all are excited to begin this new journey, and I hope that you guys will gain a lot of knowledge in this complete playlist. And definitely, if the support will be too much from your end, we will plan similar kind of things in the future as well. Please make sure whatever learning you are making, try to write in the comment section of the video of each video. I really want that, so that it will give us the idea also that how you guys are liking it or not. Is there any improvement required or not? Everything you can write it as a comment section. Also, you can connect with me and Bapi on LinkedIn. Both of the LinkedIn IDs are available in the description of this video. So at any point of time, if you're getting any sort of confusion or you need any more videos from our end, you can just tell us in the chat window of LinkedIn. We can connect over there, and you can tell us that here, hey, we have learned this thing. Can you post that thing as well? We will try to improvise as much as we can on top of this. Right? Very excited. Super. Great. Looking forward to it. And any last words, Bapi, before we will wrap up?
Yeah. See, I always tell one thing, even to my student as well. See, always try to remember consistency is the key here. If you're starting something, so try to complete it till the end. And in between, if you're facing any issue, definitely, ma'am already told you, try to connect us. Definitely will help you with that. And try to explore. Okay, let's say don't rely on the mentor. Whatever things, see, I'm teaching, it's completely fine. I'm giving you the information, but learning wise, you have to learn, you have to explore, then you will be able to be a good developer. Okay, so yes, try to remember consistency is the key here, and from my side, best of luck.
Okay, then. Thank you so much, everyone. And we will see you all in the next video. Bye bye, everyone, and see ya.
Yeah, bye everyone, thank you.